במדבר קול קורא כאן במדבר, במדבר קול קורא כאן במדבר.
Rebekah Wagner, welcome to Jerusalem Dateline.
Thank you, Julie.
So Rebekah, everyone wants to know who's this amazing young singer who sings with Shilo Ben Hod. Tell me, who are you? And where do you come from?
So my name is Rebekah, and I was born in Florida in the United States to Colombian parents that immigrated. And in 2007, we made Aliyah as Jews that returned, and we've been living here ever since.
So how did you get into music?
So at a very young age, my parents decided to send us to a local house of prayer for once a week youth watches, kid watches really. And so once a week we would gather for about, it's still happening and still running for over 10 years now, where we would just sing, pray, and worship and actually really sing the scriptures back to the Lord. And so from a young age, it's really all that I've known. And at the age of 13, I dedicated my life to the Lord, and it's been amazing. It's been really special with my relationship with the Lord. Music opportunities have been lately, I'd say the past 5 years, since I served in the military, and throughout that was probably the first time that I collaborated with Praise for Israel, which is like a local collaboration where they take worship music that is written by locals and then they put on a concert once a year.
And you've collaborated with others also, including some Arab believers?
I grew up going to this house of prayer, Sukkot Hallel, where we had annual conferences with Jews and Arabs throughout the country, and actually also from Gaza and the West Bank areas. So it's been a really, really sweet opportunity. So from a young age, we were sent to these youth camps and we just worshiped together, no politics. We were teenagers, and so really coming around, praising the Lord together just brought a lot of unity and beautiful relationships still today.
You could really say that the music is kind of a reconciliation or a unifier.
I've seen so much healing, and I've seen also just hearing a lot of testimonies, just how we focus together on the Lord and what He's doing and who He is, and everything else just kind of dies away.
Let's talk about a recent one, B'midbar, Call in the Desert.
Yes, so Bamidbar is in the desert, and it's actually our latest music video / worship song that we just released, and it's taken place in the Judean desert, and it's actually our first song that we wrote as a collaborative. So we have been rebranding to Solu, and Solu is a Hebrew word taken from Isaiah 40, where Isaiah basically declares, build up a highway, prepare the way for the Lord and for His return. So we really do feel called to be a voice in the desert, crying, preparing the way for the Lord's return. It's basically an anthem, really believing to be that voice that breaks through the darkness and makes a difference in this generation, in this world, in this age, preparing the way for the Lord to return here.
So in general, how important do you think music is to the Israeli community, the Israeli public?
I've heard this really interesting thing that they say that when people sing the same song, our hearts beat at the same pulse. So there is a very unifying factor that happens whenever we do sing and worship together. So it's been really, really special to see the power of Israeli worship written by natives, indigenous people. I mean, that can touch the local body, that can touch even local people that do not believe in Yeshua. And then worldwide, the importance, we know that Israel was called to be a light to the nations from the beginning. And so we really do believe that the Lord has called us to be a voice from Jerusalem out till the ends of the earth, declaring who the Lord is.
What has the response been from the world, from outside Israel, to your music?
It was during COVID. People didn't really have live Hebrew worship going on in the local community because of lockdowns and guidelines, and we weren't able to gather and worship together. So we started posting videos on YouTube, Hebrew worship, and then suddenly not only the local body started listening, but worldwide people were hungry to hear more Israeli, Hebrew, authentic worship, and so it kind of blew up. So last year we did a USA tour, Out of Zion tour, where we traveled throughout the United States for about a month together, and we just came back from another 35 days 35 days, 33 services throughout 17 different states, visiting churches, congregations, Messianic, Christian, and Spanish and English and Chinese and Japanese. The response has been amazing, mind-blowing at times. I think it just wasn't really what we thought would happen or what we even thought.
So you sing in English, you sing in Hebrew. Do you think you'll sing in Spanish too?
Yeah, so being a Colombian, it's in my blood. I have a very heavy burden for South America, for Latin America. Actually, just the past few months, we were able to collaborate with a couple that is living in America, but they're South American, and they've been impacting the world as well. Also, the role of South America, I would say, in this time with Israel and the end times and everything around it has just been really amazing. And there's been a really big response actually from South America to our Hebrew worship.
What do you see the future? What do you want to do in the future?
I would love to release an album or two. I mean, mainly just to release worship out. If it's more, house of prayer style, reading the scripture, singing the scripture back.
What's your hope for your music? What do you want to see it do? What impact do you want to see it have?
First and foremost, as an Israeli and as a Jew, my desire is to see Israel be saved, for their eyes to be open to see the true Messiah. And of course, the next generation. I've really big burden for the youth, so it's not necessarily, I would say, only writing and singing music, but also just teaching them the importance of being a prophetic voice. It's not about who's watching or who's talking or watching us, but it's really who we're singing before. That's what really counts. And so really encouraging the younger generation to just sing to the Lord and let that be what we welcome them with.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. The Lord bless you and success to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Julie. Altísimo.